This is going to be the toughest fight of his career.
Shut up, relax.
The most embarrassing fight of his career.
A chair across your face.
Yeah, I think he's about to cry.
I'm definitely up for fighting. There's a lot of names in the division, for sure. But at the same time, look at what this creates as well. I'm a fighter, and I understand that economics of business as well. And this does good business.
Are you really going to do this? Absolutely. Are we going to do this? For a record payday? To go in and spark Jake Paul before we start the serious stuff in 2026? Don't tell me.
Anthony Joshua has sent Jake Paul a serious warning. And this time, it's not just fight promotion or trash talk. While Jake Paul might be looking at this as his biggest financial opportunity, Joshua's team is making it very clear how dangerous this matchup could be. Eddie Hearn, Joshua's promoter, openly advised Paul to understand the real risks involved, hinting that even a single punch from Joshua could cause devastating damage. Former pro Moses Atama also didn't hold back, cautioning Jake that stepping into the ring with Joshua isn't just bold. It could be physically dangerous. Experts across the boxing world agree. This isn't just a risky fight. It might be one of the biggest
of Fury and Joshua. Really, in my view, it's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, mate.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz.
No, man.
Of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price
Agree with you.
on the planet in order to make
health gambles Jake Paul has ever taken. Ariel Helwani, a respected boxing journalist, warned that Joshua's raw power and heavyweight experience could do serious harm. With a history of brutal knockouts, Joshua isn't just a test, he's a threat. Moses Atama even urged Jake Paul to think beyond fame and fortune. He said this fight could have long-term consequences if things go badly. And Amir Khan echoed that concern, stating clearly, Joshua could hurt him badly. This isn't just about losing a fight. This could lead to real damage, even brain injury. For Anthony Joshua, this fight is about more than money. He's carrying the pressure of legacy. Boxing expert Johnny Nelson believes Joshua is in a tough spot. If he wins easily, people will say it was expected. But
when I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a one-round job. Because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud. You can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So
if he struggles against Jake Paul, it could damage his reputation, making it look like he's more interested in business than true elite boxing. Nelson also gave his honest take on Jake Paul's place in boxing. He called Jake smart for building his brand, but said he's not a world-class boxer. According to Nelson, Paul fights at a domestic level, but gets paid like a world champion. He hasn't taken the traditional boxing journey. He didn't grow up in the gym or climb through amateur ranks. He built his fame online.
Why do you look surprised when I don't.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro, you're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna get hurt badly, and this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on there. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
When you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat styles there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou. So,
and that's why you can't be surprised if AJ's gonna do the same too.
Turned it into money. Nelson calls him successful, but when it comes to elite, high-level boxing, he isn't convinced Paul belongs there yet. Former champion Carl Froch agrees. He believes that fighting Paul could damage Joshua's professional reputation, possibly affecting his chances of being remembered as a Hall of Famer. At the same time, Joshua has said something very telling his legacy. He says, "Won't just be about belts or titles. My legacy," Joshua said, "is that I walked out healthy." But Jake Paul isn't backing down. He believes Joshua has real weaknesses, especially after recent performances. On his podcast, Paul claimed that Joshua doesn't have a strong chin, lacks skill, and is too stiff in the ring. He pointed to Joshua's knockout loss to Daniel Dubois as proof that he's no longer as durable. Paul says his own confidence.
He's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an all-win situation. If he goes in there and Jake Paul lasts the distance, what's he tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what's he say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul to say, right, we've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got back at the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can.
Awkward style and momentum make this the perfect time to step in. Maybe even shock the world. Jake Paul sees this fight as his moment of truth. He says people have always judged him for fighting smaller or older opponents. But now he's taking on a true heavyweight, a former world champion. He said, "When I beat Joshua, every doubt disappears. No one can deny me." To him, this is more than a fight. It's the moment he proves he belongs. Teddy Atlas, one of the most respected minds in boxing, gave a thoughtful take. He believes it might be a step too far for Jake Paul because of the huge gap in experience and class. But he also sees something interesting. He mentions Joshua's knockout loss and time away from the ring, saying that mentally
really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got.
There might still be something haunting Joshua. Those ghosts, he says, could make Joshua vulnerable. He admits Joshua is still more powerful and naturally skilled, but he's curious to see which version of AJ will show up. Teddy Atlas didn't stop there. He said Jake Paul will never be a true top-tier fighter, but he respects how Paul has approached the sport. He called Paul a work in progress.
It was the manner of Joshua's loss where he looked terrible. He looked like a fighter that was well past his best. His timing wasn't there. He even looked a little bit chinny, dare I say. I mean, I still think he's got a good chin. The shot he took from Dubois was absolutely massive and would have knocked down many heavyweights. And he showed decent powers of recovery to get up and struggle through for as long as he did before his over-aggression and miscalculation with the type of shots he was using got him knocked out by Dubois. But if you're deluded enough like Jake Paul, then perhaps you look at that and go,
and said he didn't take shortcuts or disrespect boxing. He trained, he learned, and he built something unique. Atlas believes Paul is a brilliant promoter, but when it comes to elite boxing, he's not convinced Paul can compete with the very best. Boxing analyst Ade Oladipo kept it straightforward. In his view, if Jake Paul really steps into the ring with Anthony Joshua, Joshua could finish it early, possibly within the first 30 seconds. He says that while Paul is brave to challenge someone so much bigger and more experienced, bravery won't protect him from heavyweight level power. Meanwhile, Jake Paul has thrown out a huge number, suggesting his fight with Joshua could be worth around $267 million. Some reports say both Paul and Joshua could walk away with about $92 million each. If these numbers are true, it would not only be a major sporting event, but one of the richest fights in boxing history. There's also risk outside the ring. If Jake Paul loses badly to Anthony Joshua, it could damage his brand. Right now, Paul is one of the few crossover stars who can guarantee big pay-per-view numbers because of his massive online following. But if he gets completely outclassed, critics will say he was never a real boxer. That could hurt his market value. Even promoter Hearn warned, if this fight goes wrong for Jake Paul, this might be the end of his boxing run. In simple terms, this fight is a gamble. For Jake Paul, it's about proving he's more than just an entertainer. For Joshua, it's about protecting his legacy and possibly earning his biggest payday yet. But experts warn this might be less about sport and more about danger, money, and risks. So what do you think? Is Jake Paul being brave, or is he stepping into something far more dangerous than he realizes? And subscribe my channel Bloodline Boxing.